Hello, very warm welcome. Lewis Hamilton dominates the Austrian Grand Prix. We will call it the Austrian Grand Prix, not the Styrian Grand Prix. Wow, dominant weekend for Lewis Hamilton. 1.2 seconds in quali, dominates the whole race. Very exciting in the last couple of laps. Perez losing his wing, Norris basically getting past Stroll, Ricciardo, and then Perez on the last corner. Ferrari's touch, I mean, they have no pace, and then they crash into each other. Well, Charles Leclerc crashes into Vettel, and they both retire. I mean, they need to get the mileage in, they need to do the race, and they basically both out of the race on the first lap. Suicidal by Ferrari. George Russell, amazing qualifying, he goes through the gravel, and big mistake. He was running like 12, went all the way down to last. Ricciardo finally gets past Ocon. The team should have let Ricciardo go. He was very quick. He was quicker than Ocon. And then Ocon later retires due to cooling issues. Sainz has a slow stop and costs him many positions. I mean, he got jumped by Stroll, Perez, Ricciardo. It cost him big time. Very slow stop. Perez, great move on Carlos Sainz. Round the outside. Perez is outstanding, overtaken masterclass by the Mexican. And he was all over the back of Albon, had the pace. He started 17th and should have finished 4th, but lost his wing after hitting Albon. Albon way off the pace, horrible pace by him all weekend. Nowhere in qualifying, nowhere in the race. When I called it out on Pierre Gasly, you've got to call it for Alexander Albon. Shocking. Max defends hard against Bottas, but Bottas eventually gets past. Perez breaks his wing, and Lando Norris gains 3 places. Stroll dive bomb Ricciardo, they both go off. Norris basically gets 2 positions, and then he passed Perez because Perez had hardly a wing. Perez may get a penalty for that, for not pitting, because he drove 2 laps without like a fully fledged wing. Exciting last couple of laps. Fastest lap, Carlos Sainz. Race rating, I'll give it 5 out of 10. It was just a steady Grand Prix this week. Didn't have the anticipation and excitement of last week. Driver of the day, Sergio Perez. I mean, goes from 17th, ends up finishing 6th, but should have been 4th. Austria race reaction. Hamilton dominates. Perez sensational till he lost his wing. Lewis Hamilton, great weekend, great fight back. 1.2 seconds faster. Every single lap led, dominant. Valtteri Bottas second, past Max late on. Still the championship leader. Max P3, couldn't defend Bottas, had a steady race. Albon P4, no pace all weekend, very lucky to get P4. Lando Norris got past 3 cars late on to finish 5th after getting a podium. Sergio Perez, broken win, finishes 6th. Now he may not keep that position because it happened with Rosberg that time. He got a penalty for driving round with a damaged wing. Lance Stroll 7th, was stuck behind Ricciardo, finally dive bombed him. Ricciardo 8th. Carlos Sainz 9th. Consolation is he gets the fastest lap, but horror stop by McLaren cost him 3 or 4 positions. Danny Kvyat, hardly saw him on the TV, he's 10th. Kimi Raikkonen 11th. Kevin Magnussen, Roman Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Gasly 15th, went completely the wrong strategy, put the hard tyres on. Russell 16th after a big mistake, unlike George Russell, and Nicholas Latifi 17th. Retirement, Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc. 100% Charles Leclerc's fault. It was a bit like the other week. Vettel went into a gap that was always going to close. Leclerc did the same, and Leclerc takes full responsibility for that. That was not Sebastian Vettel's fault. It was Charles Leclerc's fault. They've got no pace as it is. They're tossing it around in the midfield, and then they go and take each other out. I mean, it literally can't get any worse if you're a Ferrari fan. Ocon retires with cooling issues. That is race reaction done. Join me for driver ratings probably tomorrow. And it was a decent race, a standard 5 out of 10, but Hamilton dominates. Hamilton first, Bottas second, Max third. And we'll have to wait and see if Perez gets a penalty. Hopefully not, because he was outstanding. He put a superb move on Sainz. He put a superb move on his teammate, and then just lost that wing on the back of Albon. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty, but it was very dangerous for 2 laps because it could have flew off the car. Race reaction done. Lewis Hamilton dominates and is back in the title. Well, he was always in the title fight, but after a bad first weekend, he regains big points. Wow. Join me for driver ratings tomorrow. Adios. Hamilton wins the Austrian Grand Prix.